Hey guys, so it's Brittany here. Sorry y'all can't see my face. I decided to do a guitar tutorial for y'all. So I have the camera zoomed in on my guitar in my hands. Anyways, so when you get the guitar, there are a few basic parts of the instrument you need to know. Whether it's acoustic or electric, these will be the same. So up here, these are metal pegs at the top of the guitar. Those are used to adjust the pitch or the tuning of the strings. Then right below that you have that skinny piece of wood that is called the neck. The wide part of the guitar is called the body. There is a piece of wood on the bottom end of the string called the bridge. And then obviously the metal things that run across it are the strings. And on the neck, right under the strings, you will feel like metal lines that go vertically. Those are called frets. And that is essentially where you put your finger. So first I'm going to teach you the 6 strings. If you have a standard acoustic or electric guitar, it'll have 6 strings. Now there are 7 letters in the musical alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So, and there are 6 strings on guitar. So these different strings is starting from the bottom. So like when you're holding the guitar properly, starting from the string that's closest to the ceiling. I get confused on which one's 1 and which one's 6. Anyways, the lowest string is called E. The second string, oh yeah, and it sounds like that. That's E. The second string is A. The third string is D. The fourth string is G. Sorry, mine's a little buzzy. I don't know why. The fifth string is B. And then the sixth string is a high E. And this E is, I believe, yes, the E's are 2 octaves apart. An octave is 8 notes. So both E's are 16 notes apart in the musical alphabet. So, the strings again, E, A, D, G, B, and E. The way I learned this was, it's an acronym, or not an acronym, I don't know what to call it, but it's pretty funny, and I've heard several, but this one was actually funny, so that's why it stuck in my head. Okay, E for Eddie, 8 for A, dynamite for D, good for G, bye for B, Eddie for E. So that's Eddie, 8, dynamite, good, bye, Eddie. I know that's a little gruesome, but that's how I remember it. Anyways, so a chord, by definition, is any 2 notes that can be played together. So like, this is a chord. This is a chord. Anything can basically be a chord. Some sound better than others, and some have different tones, different moods associated with them, but that's a lot more advanced for this tutorial. So right now I'm going to show y'all the basic chords that you will commonly use. I'm going to start out with G. There are a few versions of this, but the most basic is where you have your middle finger on the 3rd fret, bottom E string. Now, you don't want to put your finger exactly on the metal line. You want to put your finger in between the 2nd metal line and the 3rd metal line. That is the 3rd fret. So it'll sound like this. That's a G. It should sound the same as that, except just slower. So that's how you can tell you have a G. So G. Your pointer finger is on 2nd fret, A string. That makes a B. You leave your D string open, G string open, B string open, so you don't put any fingers on those. You do not put any fingers on D string, G string, and B string. And then you put your middle finger on the E string, 3rd fret. So both E strings, you have your fingers on the 3rd fret. So again, that's bottom E, middle finger, 3rd fret, A, pointer finger, 2nd fret, D open, G, open, B open, and E ring finger 3rd fret. All together, when it's strummed, that sounds like this. The next chord I'm going to show you is a D major. This is, I think, the easiest chord ever. Actually, no, E minor is easier, but this is still really easy. Okay, so you do not strum the E and the A. So you do not strum these two, the lowest 2 strings. For this chord, pretend like they don't exist. So you have your D string open, your G string, you have your pointer finger 2nd fret, that makes an A. The B string, you have your ring finger 3rd fret, that makes a D. And then your top E string, you have your middle finger 2nd fret, that makes an F sharp. All together, it sounds like this. I think that's the happiest chord on guitar. I don't know why. It just makes me feel happy. So you will commonly find that in happy songs. The next chord I'm going to show you is A minor. So minor chords sound sad and major chords sound happy. And it has to do with the notes that are used in the chords, but that's a little advanced for this tutorial. So you have your A string open, you have your middle finger D string 2nd fret, your ring finger, your middle finger D string 2nd fret, your ring finger G string 2nd fret, your B string pointer finger, 1st fret, and then your open E string. And in this case, do not play this lowest string. Do not play the bottom E. It doesn't exist. Again. So you play A, D, G, B, E with the fingers that I showed you earlier. So all in all, it sounds like this. Again, it sounds like this. I'll pick through it slowly so y'all can hear. The next chord I'm going to show y'all is the C major. So for this, I want you to keep the A minor shape, except you only move one finger. You move your ring finger up to the A string and put it on the 3rd fret. So you have ring finger A string 3rd fret, that's a C. Then you have middle finger D string 2nd fret, that's an E. Open G string, and pointer finger B string 1st fret. And then you pluck the top E string, not the bottom E string. So, like A minor, this bottom string is not present in the chord. So overall, a C sounds like this. I'll pick through it individually for y'all. Okay, next I'm going to show you an E minor. So this is the most common version of E minor. There are several that are used, but this is, I think, one of the most common, and it's easy. This is the easiest chord on guitar. So it only requires 2 fingers. You have your open E string, you have your middle finger A string 2nd fret, that's a B. You have your ring finger D string 2nd fret, that's an E. And then you have your G string open, B string open, and E string open. So, all in all, that sounds like this. I'll pick through it slowly so y'all can hear each note. Okay, next I want to show you an F major. There are several different versions of this, and I personally like to do the easy one because I've been playing for a few years and F major is still a really hard chord, but I'm going to show you a version that's not quite as difficult. So you have your open A string. Wait, how do I... Never mind. Okay, you do not pluck the E or the A in this chord. So you have your ring finger D string third fret, that's an F. You have your middle finger, G string, second fret, that's A. You have your pointer finger, first fret on the B string, that's a C. And then your pointer finger also on the E string, high E string, that's an F. The way I want y'all to do this is, normally when you play a typical chord, when you play a G, a D, an A minor, an E minor, a C, all the chords we've went over, your fingers are all arched. You are pressing into the string with your fingertips. However, on F major, this is called a bar chord, and there are other bar chords too. I want you to flatten out your pointer finger onto the top two strings. So it sounds like this, but that's one finger doing it. That's why they call it a bar, because your pointer finger makes a bar across the strings. So that is why the more difficult version has all 6 strings barred, and that can be really difficult on the finger, especially if you're a beginner and don't have calluses built up. So that's why I'm showing y'all this version. So again, that's D, ring finger, 3rd fret, G, middle finger, 2nd fret, and B string, E string, pointer finger, 1st fret. All together, that sounds like this. I'm going to pick through it slowly. Okay, I have 2 more chords that I'm going to show y'all. One of them is an E major. This is commonly used in like rock or like happy songs, I think. So, this is another easy chord. It's really similar to the E minor. I want you to leave your bottom E string open, put your middle finger, 2nd fret, A string, ring finger, 2nd fret, D string, pointer finger, 1st fret, A string, and then leave your B string and high E string open. So I forgot to tell y'all what notes that is. I'm sorry. So open E, your middle finger on the A string, 2nd fret, that makes a B. Your ring finger on the D string, 2nd fret, makes an E. And your pointer finger on the G string, 1st fret, makes a G sharp. So that is a G, but it's raised. It's a higher version of G. It's raised up a half step. That's really complicated. I don't even know how to explain that. So, sorry. But, and then the B string is open and the E string is open. So that sounds like this. So I'm going to pick through it individually. Okay, so I figured out how to explain half steps and whole steps actually. So between each fret on the guitar, it sounds like this. I'm going to do a higher string because it sounds cleaner. On and on and on. So a half step is each fret. So from here to here is a half step. It's that Jaws theme. That's how I remember it. That's how you can pick out a half step. And a whole step is, it skips a fret. So, an easier one to pick out. Another example is like I said, half steps are like the creepy Jaws. And whole steps sound more happy. That's the best way I can explain it to y'all. Okay, A major, this is the last chord I'm going to show y'all today. It's a pretty easy chord because it doesn't require any stretching of the fingers. So, you have your E string open, but you don't play it. You do not play your bottom E string at all. You have your A string open, D string, 2nd fret with pointer finger, that makes an E. G string, 2nd fret with middle finger, that makes an E. And then B string, 2nd fret, ring finger, that makes a C sharp. And then open high E string. So you play A, E, C sharp, E. Don't pick the bottom E, so it sounds like this. Now, if you do pick the bottom E, it's not the end of the world if you hit it by accident, because the high E is in this chord. It's not supposed to be in there, but if you accidentally play it, it's not the end of the world. So I'll pick through that chord again, and slowly it is. Okay, that is it. I hope for any beginners out there that have been wanting to learn guitar, that is a good start. A few last tips that don't pertain to chords or anything. First, always keep your fingers arched, unless you are doing a bar chord like that F major chord I showed you. You want to have your fingers like this, kind of like a claw shape if you have your hand just there. You don't have to press into the string with all your might and, you know, like, use all your finger strength, but you do need to push the string down all the way so you get a good sound, because otherwise it'll sound like, here, let me just do one note so it's easier. If you're not pressing down hard enough, this is the sound you will get. If you press down hard enough, you get that sound. Not buzzy, hang on. Ugh, I hate that string. Okay, there we go. That's better. If you press down hard enough, you get that, whereas if you don't, you get that dead sound. Arching your fingers also prevents you from covering up strings that aren't supposed to be covered up. You know, because like, let's say you're playing a G major. If you sit there and if you curve in your fingers, it's gonna sound like this. See how half that chord is dead? You get, instead of if you do. Another tip is you can pretty much have your arm in whatever position helps you achieve the chords, but in bar chords, so like this F major, you need to have your elbow in because it helps you flatten out the finger, whereas it'll hurt your hand or your wrist if you keep your elbow out. Don't let your fingernails grow ridiculously long, because then it just becomes hard to play and they get in the way of the strings. Let's see, any more advice that I've learned? It is going to hurt like heck at first, and you are going to want to quit. But I promise you, if you stick with it, it can be something you really enjoy. I've been playing for like 4 years, actually. Wow, it doesn't seem like that long. 4 years, and I have built up calluses to where I can play for like a while. But at the beginning, it's going to hurt to just play for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And it's going to really hurt your fingers. The way I showed y'all with the strumming too, I showed y'all with my fingers. Y'all can use a pick. I don't prefer it for acoustic guitar. For electric, it does sound better. So I'll go ahead and show you. I hope you can see this. So the pick is like triangular shaped. And you'll notice that there are like 2 rounded corners and there's 1 pointy corner. So you want to kind of put it between your thumb and pointer and have it sort of slanted. Don't have your fingers close to any of the edges of the pick. Kind of hold it more in the middle, but not to where your fingers get in the way of the strings. And you pick it with the pointy end, so it sounds like this. That's with the pick as opposed to... Let me put this down for a second. As opposed to with the finger. But with finger, what I like is you can do... and just pick out a lot of notes. You can also use, if you want to get that harsh sound, you can use your fingernails like... That creates a good rhythm. Some other popular rhythms, with the pick especially, it's like, I'm going to mute the strings because I'm not good at this. I just learned this recently. I don't usually play rock music, but this is popular in rock. So it can be like... So what I'm doing is I'm taking the pick and I'm moving down, down, up, down, up, 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 down, down, up, down, up. so on and so forth. That's, I think, the most two popular rhythms. Some other cool ones are down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's a cool one. That's the basics of strumming. Anyways, if you enjoyed this guitar tutorial, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you want me to make more, just tell me in the comments, leave some requests if you have any. I hope this was a good starting point for y'all, and I will see you next time. If I can find the cat. Oh, okay. See you next time.